friends to a new session on genomics and proteomics. In this session, we will discuss genetic markers. Genetic marker, background and types. For many years, gene mapping was limited to identifying organisms by traditional genetic markers. A genetic marker is a gene or a DNA sequence with a non-physical location on chromosomes that can be used to identify individuals or species variations which may arise due to mutation or alteration in the genomic loci. They are points of variation that can be used to identify individuals or species or may be used to associate an inherited disease with a gene through genetic linkage with nearby but possibly unidentified or uncharacterized genes. It is used to study the relationship between an inherited disease and its genetic cause, for example, a particular mutation of a gene that results in a defective protein. It is also employed in a genealogical DNA testing for genetic genealogy to determine genetic distance between individuals or populations. Genetic markers have also been used to measure the genomic response to selection in livestock. Types of genetic markers. There are numerous types of genetic markers. RFLP or restriction fragment length polymorphism, symbol sequence length polymorphism SSLP, amplified fragment length polymorphism AFLP, random amplified of polymorphic DNA RAPD, variable number tandem repeat VNTR, SSR microsatellite polymorphism symbol sequence repeat, SNP single nucleotide polymorphism, STR short tandem repeat, SFP single feature polymorphism, DART diversity arrays technology. RAD markers, restriction site associate DNA markers. RFLP or restriction fragment length polymorphism. Restriction fragment length polymorphism is invented in 1984 by Alec Jeffreys, a technique that exploits variations in homologous DNA sequences. In RFLP analysis, the DNA sample is broken into fragments and digested by specific restriction endonucleases, and the resulting restriction fragments are separated according to gel electrophoresis. RFLP is an important tool in genome mapping, localization of gene for genetic disorders, determination of risk of disease and paternity testing. How RFLP works? Genetic polymorphism is defined as the inherited genetic differences among individuals in over 1% of normal population. The RFLP technique exploits these differences in DNA sequence to recognize and study both intraspecies and interspecies variation. First, DNA is extracted from blood, saliva or other samples and purified DNA is digested using restriction endonucleases. The recognition sites of these enzymes are generally 4 to 6 base pairs in length. The shorter the sequence recognized, the greater the number of fragments generated from digestion. For example, if there is a short sequence of GAGC that occurs repeatedly in a sample of DNA, the restriction endonuclease that recognize the GAGC sequence cut the DNA at every repetition of the GAGC pattern. If one sample repeats the GAGC sequence 4 times whilst another sample repeats it 2 times, the length of the fragments generated by the enzyme for the 2 samples will be different. The restriction fragments produced during DNA fragmentation are analyzed using gel electrophoresis. The gel is treated with luminescent dyes in order to make the DNA bands visible. Applications of RFLP. Some of the key applications of RFLP are listed below. To determine the status of genetic diseases such as cystic fibrosis in an individual, to determine or confirm the source of DNA samples such as in paternity tests or criminal investigations, in genetic mapping to determine recombination rates that show the genetic distance between the loci, to identify a carrier of a disease causing mutations in a family. Second one, SSLP or symbol sequence length polymorphism. Symbol sequence length polymorphism are used as genetic markers with polymerase chain reactions used to produce multiple copies of DNA. It is a type of polymorphism, a difference in DNA sequence amongst individuals. SSLPs are repeated sequences over varying base lengths in intergenic regions of DNA. Variance in the length of SSLPs can be used to understand genetic variation between two individuals in a certain species. SSLP markers are widely dispersed, selectively neutral, and their alleles typically differ by discrete steps. Third one, amplified fragment length polymorphism or AFLP. The AFLP technique is based on the selective PCR amplification of restriction fragments from a total digest of genomic DNA to generate and compare unique fingerprints for genomes of interest. After final amplification, selectively amplified fragments are separated by gel electrophoresis and visualized autoradiographically. Missile and missile fragments are excluded from the autorad because only EcoR1 directed primers are normally labeled. Typically, the autorad has 100 to 300 fingerprints with sizes ranging from 80 to 500 nucleotides. Only a subset 10 to 40 of these total bands is polymorphic between two related individuals. For example, Arabidopsis thailandana columbia and Landsberg erecta ecotypes. Using a 3 base pair selective primer extensions gives 128 possible linker combinations. Therefore, 128 subsets of genomic DNA can be readily amplified. Thus, thousands of markers can be generated quite rapidly. Random amplified of polymorphic DNA or RAPD. RAPD markers are DNA fragments from PCR amplifications of random segments of genomic DNA with single primer of arbitrary nucleotide sequence. Unlike traditional PCR analysis, RAPD does not require any specific knowledge of the DNA sequence of the target organism. The identical 10 mere primers will or will not amplify a segment of DNA depending on positions that are complementary to the primer sequence. RAPD is an inexpensive yet powerful typing method for many bacterial species. For example, no fragment is produced if primers anneal too far apart from 3' ends of the primers are not facing each other. Therefore, a PCR product will not be produced if a mutation has occurred in the template DNA at the site that was previously complementary to the primer, resulting in a different pattern of amplified DNA segments on the gel. Silverstein Page showed 3 distinct RAPD profiles generated in Haemophilus duceri by primer OPE15. Different sequences will produce different band patterns and possibly allow for a more specific recognition of individual strains. So, selecting the right sequence for the primers is very important. RAPD is used to trace the phylogeny of many plants and animals. Fifth one, variable number tandem repeats or VNTR. A tandem repeat is defined as the repeated end-to-end duplication of a core DNA sequence at a defined locus. These DNA segments are useful for identifying individuals for such purposes as linking a suspect to a crime scene because of their variation between individuals. These are the famed DNA fingerprints. The term tandem is often used to describe systems in which two parts are linked together, such as tandem bicycle, a bicycle built for two; tandem jump, a parachute jump in which a student and instructor are tied together in the same harness; tandem carriage, a carriage drawn by two horses harnessed together, etc. Hence, a tandem repeat is a DNA consisting of a short repeated base pair sequences harnessed together. Example: GATA, GAT, 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 GATA is a tandem repeat consisting of 5 repeats of tandem GA and TA. Tandem repeat DNA sequences are also called satellite DNA. There are 3 main types: satellite, mini satellite and microsatellite. A satellite is a highly repetitive DNA sequence with each repeated sequence ranging from 1000 to several thousand base pairs. Satellites are abundant on the Y chromosome, which makes a handy tool for those studying paternal genetic transmission in mammals. The entire satellite can be up to 100 million base pairs long and tend to occur in regions of heterochromatic, that is the tightly wound regions of DNA that are usually not very actively transcribed, found near centromeres and telomeres among other places. A mini satellite is an array of tandem repeats with each repeat ranging from 9 to 100 base pairs, but most commonly around 15 base pair. The entire array is usually 500 to 30,000 base pairs long. These are most commonly found in euchromatin regions of the chromosomes. A microsatellite is an array of very short repeats, 2 to 6 base pairs each, with the entire array ranging from 10,000 to 1 lakh base pairs in length. They have so far been found in the euchromatin regions of insects, vertebrate and plant chromosomes. The number of these tandem repeats varies among individuals in a population, making microsatellites is useful to the population genetist. The characteristic features of microsatellites are: have many loci each, have a high rate of mutation, 10 raised to minus 3 to 10 raised to minus 4 mutations per site per generation, as opposed to 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 9 mutations per site per generations as in single nucleotide polymorphisms. Found throughout the genomes in introns, exons, regulatory regions and non-functional DNA sequences. More rarely in coding sequences in trinucleotide repeated form. Microsatellites are screened from a genetic library and they are a part of database of readily accessible species-specific microsatellites that can be used to sequence and compare across genomes or within a species. For example, in locus A is a tandem repeat of the motif GC. There are 4 alleles with 2, 3, 4 or 5 repeats, A2, A3, A4 and A5 respectively. Locus B is a tandem repeat of the motif AGCT. There are only 2 alleles with 2 or 3 repeats, B2 and B3 respectively. It shows a southern blot DNA fingerprint that includes both loci simultaneously. Individual 1 is heterozygous at locus A, A2 bar A5 and homozygous at locus 2, B2 bar B2. Individual 2 is heterozygous at both loci, A4 bar A3 and B3 bar B2 respectively. The 2 individuals are distinguishable at either locus. Sixth one, SSR microsatellite polymorphism or symbol sequence repeat. The symbol sequence repeats or microsatellites occur ubiquitously in all the prokaryotic and eukaryotic genomes. Dinucleotide repeats like GA and CA are the most abundant repeats in most of the eukaryotes. Example, CAN repeats occurs once in every 30 kilobase in humans. Change in number of these repeats gives the length polymorphism, which is revealed by designing primers for the sequence flanking the microsatellite repeat motif, followed by PCR amplification and visualization in agarose or denaturing polyacrylamide gel. Change in number of these repeats gives the length polymorphism, which is revealed by designing primers for the sequences flanking the microsatellite repeat motif, followed by PCR amplification and visualization in agarose or denaturing polyacrylamide gel. This process of amplification and visualization can also be automated by labeling the primers with fluorescent dye. SSR loci would be expected to show codominance and high levels of length polymorphism on account of differences in the number of repeat units. SSR loci can be amplified from small amount of genomic DNA by PCR once specific primers have been designed. Therefore, SSR markers are useful and powerful tools for population studies. Seventh one, single nucleotide polymorphism or SNP. SNP is a variation in a single nucleotide that occurs at a specific position in the genome, where each variation is present to some appreciable degrees within a population. SNPs are single nucleotide substitutions of one base for another. Each SNP location in the genome can have 2 up to 4 versions, one for each nucleotide A, C, G and T. SNPs are not necessarily located within genes and they do not always affect the way a protein functions. A wide range of human diseases, example sickle cell anemia, beta thalassemia and cystic fibrosis result from SNPs. SNPs are divided into two main categories: linked SNPs or indicative SNPs. Do not reside within genes and do not affect protein function. Nevertheless, they do correspond to a particular drug response or to the risk for getting a certain disease. Causative SNPs affect the way a protein functions, correlating with a disease or influencing a person's response to medication. Causative SNPs come in two forms: coding SNPs, located within the coding region of a gene, change the amino acid sequence of the gene's protein product. Non-coding SNPs, locating with the gene's regulatory sequences, change the timing, location or level of gene expression. Eighth one, short tandem repeat or STR. STRs are short sequences of DNA, normally of length 2 to 5 base pairs, that are repeated numerous times in a head-tail manner. That is, the 16 base pair sequence of GATA, 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 GATA would represent 4 head-tail copies of the tetramer GATA. The polymorphisms in STRs are due to different number of copies of the repeat element that can occur in a population of individuals. Ninth one, single feature polymorphism or SFP. SFPs are microarray based molecular markers that are detected by hybridization of DNA or cRNA to oligonucleotide probes. Individual SNPs may also directly contribute to phenotypic variation if they are an intragenic or promoter region and can be used as perfect markers for genes bar traits of interest. In addition to their abundance, SNPs have the advantages of several high throughput genotyping platforms that can significantly reduce the cost per data point. 10th one, diversity arrays technology or DART. It is based on microarray hybridizations that detect the presence versus absence of individual fragments in genomic representations. In DART, the genomic representation fragments are stained with a dye that fluorescence green, while vector sequences are stained with a dye that fluorescence red, so that the image is analyzed. After the hybridization, wash and scan can be done by comparison of the intensity of green and red fluorescence as in a typical expression microarray. The outcome in the genotype of the sample, a list of array features or spots hybridizing to a sample. The genotypes is labeled showing presence or absence for each marker. Any standard genetic analysis software that can then use to analyze the data. The technology has significant advantages over the other array-based single nucleotide polymorphism detection technologies in the analysis of polyploid plants. 11th one, RAD markers, restriction site associated DNA markers. Restriction site associated DNA sequencing interrogates a fraction of the genome across many individuals, an ideal method for genotyping. For example, in RAD, the genomic DNA of the two polymorphic strains, the DIM7N3312 strain and Oak Ridge type strain and the polymorphic Morris7N32 wild type strain, is digested with a restriction enzyme. Biotinylated linkers are then ligated to the restriction sites. The DNA is sheared and the RAD tags are purified using streptavidin beads. The purified tracks from each strain are differentially labeled with Cy3 or Cy5 and then hybridized to a microarray. Shared restriction sites generate yellow spots, whereas strain-specific restriction sites generate red or green spots. Molecular genetic markers can be divided into two classes. A. Biochemical markers which detect variations at the gene product level such as changes in proteins and amino acids, and B. molecular markers which detect variations at DNA level such as nucleotide changes, deletion, duplication, inversion and insertion. Markers can be exhibit two models of inheritance, that is dominant or recessive or codominant. A marker is said to be codominant if the genetic pattern of homozygotes can be distinguished from that of heterozygotes. Generally, codominant markers are more informative than dominant markers. Two general approaches to studying genetic diversity reflect these categories. Genetic markers, biochemical markers such as allozymes and more recently molecular markers such as microsatellites are traditionally involved in measuring neutral genetic diversity at single loci, often randomly samplified in a genome. Let us summarize the following discussions on genetic markers. A genetic marker is a gene on DNA sequence with a known physical location on chromosomes that can be used to identify individuals or species. A genetic marker may be a short DNA sequence such as a sequence surrounding a single base pair change, single nucleotide polymorphism SNP, or a long one like mini satellites. Genetic markers are used to study the relationship between an inherited disease and its genetic cause. DNA-based genetic marker has had a revolutionary impact on animal genetics and also proved useful in many other aspects of agriculture and aquaculture. Before we conclude, there are some questions to be answered. Write an overview on molecular marker. What defines a genetic marker? How was PCR technology applied to the analysis of DNA? How Mendel's genetics is linked to DNA analysis. Discuss the applications of genetic marker in human diseases. Books for your references are Introduction to Bioinformatics, Atwood and Parry Smith, Pearson Education. Bioinformatics, A Beginner's Guide by Jean-Michel Clavier, John Valley and Sons. Structural Bioinformatics by Philip E. Bourne and Helge Wessling, Ville. Bioinformatics, Methods and Applications, Rastogi SC, Mendarita N and Rastogi P. Essential Bioinformatics, Jin Seongs, Cambridge University Press. Bioinformatics, Sequence and Genome Analysis, Mount DW, Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory Press, New York. Hope the session was beneficial for you. See you in the next session. Till then, bye.